Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dr. Nurul Hidayana. My name is Nur Zafira Hidayah binti Mat Taufik.
My name is Najwa binti Mat Ghazali.
And we are from AM2253D.
So this is the third question, which is describe any four challenges of organizational behavior. Okay, so what is globalization? Globalization is an economic, social and cultural connectivity and interdependency with people in other parts of the world. It is also catalyzed by IT, ICT and transportation systems. With globalization, it will increase the work intensification, which is a lot of variety, and reducing job security and work-life balance. So it is crucial for the leader in the organization to lead and work effectively in the emerging reality. So as for an example, in the organization, the teamwork of the employees, a lot of diversity of employees, cultural values that they have adopted, organizational structure and leadership. This behavior is a contemporary challenges and organizational behavior trends in the organization. As I said earlier, globalization is something that is connectivity and interdependency. So business, technology and culture are connect with each other. By business, it creates the challenges for the organization, and the advancements of the technology also can create a challenge for the organization where they cannot adapt with the current technology and the new technology. Also, the diversity of culture in the organization can create the challenges between the employees. As for an example, with the existence of diversity of culture in the organization, it creates challenges where the employees are being racist with each other. Next challenges is workforce diversity. As we all know, in Malaysia, we have the diversity of employees in the organization, such as race, ethnicity, religion, age and many more. So workforce diversity have two types of level, which are surface level diversity and deep level diversity. So the first level of diversity is surface level diversity. It is the observable demographic or physiological differences in people. For example, race, ethnicity, religion, age and physical disabilities. Whereas deep level diversity is the differences in the physiological characteristic of employees, such as their personalities, attitudes, beliefs, values. So as for an example for workforce diversity, it creates the challenges in the organization where the employee have lack or poor of communication skills, and it will reduce the by that it will reduce the information sharing in the organization, and it will increase moral problems and increase the employees turnover.
I'm sure you will agree that cultural differences are fascinating. But cultural differences can lead to frustration because we do not always correctly understand intentions. This frustration isn't really a problem while on vacation. In fact, we often travel specifically to experience different cultures. But cultural differences certainly create challenges in business. As companies expand across borders, understanding cultural differences is becoming key to business success. Meet Paul. He is a manager at AlphaGas. AlphaGas had just entered into a partnership with Hochin Explorations in China. This created great new opportunities. It also required Paul to send his team to China for a year to work with his new partners. He was very excited. But he was also worried. The expectations were high and he had to make sure the partnership worked. Paul needed strong teamwork. He started to make a list of what could derail things. Number 1. A new team needs time to settle in. Number 2. Language differences can slow things down. Miscommunication leads to confusion, delays and rework. Number 3. Cultural differences in how decisions are made and how problems are solved can cause misunderstandings and ill feelings.
This could mean project delays and added costs. And, heaven forbid, failure.
Paul knew he had to do something. What if he could prepare his team so well that they could walk into their new environment ready to function, instead of having to find their feet first? Paul turned to the internet for an answer. He stumbled upon the concept of cultural diversity. At first he was unsure about how it could be applied. But then he realized that embracing cultural diversity was a bit like sightseeing. Once you have read something about a building, you have a greater appreciation for it. Paul made a call. He needed cultural diversity management. The expert told Paul it was very important for his team and their families to appreciate and relate to the Chinese culture rather than be threatened by it. She suggested a plan that would not be difficult to implement. First, they shared a diversity framework with the team. This placed the new culture into the context of the known culture. Language training was the second element. Over the next 8 weeks, engaging lessons prepared everyone for dealing with practical situations, in and outside of work. And thirdly, change management elements were included in the training to equip everyone with tools to deal with most situations. The highlight of the intense training was the graduation ceremony, which turned out to be a huge celebration. The team was eager to leave on their assignment. Whereas Paul had previously sensed nervousness in his team, he now saw confidence and determination to deliver. As he waved his team goodbye, Paul felt proud and honored to be part of his company's exciting new growth phase.
Okay, so the third challenges is evolving employment relationships. So the first point is the work-life balance. People are able to minimize conflict between their work and non-work demands. So it creates the challenges to the employees because most employees lack this balance because they spend too much time performing or thinking about their job. They do not care about their non-work demands such as their family, their health, their personal problems and many more. So what are the solutions that can be done by the top management level? The first one is where the top management level can provide flexible working hours to the employees. So by that, they are able to balance their life with work and non-work demands. And then contingent work. So as for an example that I can give you is Google company have a flexible working hours to the employees. So by that, all employees in the organization are able to do their job productively. As for an example, Google company have a flexible working hours to the employees. So by that, all employees in the organization are able to do the job that are according to the standard, and it will increase their productivity as well. So this is an example picture of work-life balance. So it creates the problems to the employees because of this factor. They do not care about their health, friends, time, family, career and work. It is because they spend too much time worrying about their work or their career instead of health, friends, time and family. So by that, it will lead to decrease their productivity in the organization. So this is an example solution that can be taken by the top management level is by adopting or provide a flexible working hours in the organization. So by that, all the employees can do their job well, they have a good organizational culture and increase their productivity.
Hi there! We wanted to share with you by far the easiest way to keep your best employees and have a stream of highly qualified people literally banging on your door, begging to work in your company. Now let's be honest here. Times are changing rapidly, and we both know what people want and expect as the norm from their day-to-day work is changing too. Even Patricia Hewitt, former Secretary of State for Trade and Industry, commented, quote, "Stressed workers cannot perform to their maximum potential, and this can damage commercial success. That is why it is down to employers and employees to work together to find sensible work-life balance solutions, which will result in better results, higher productivity, and increased staff commitment." It is often said that stress management boils down to managing workload and good management practices in relation to rewards, recognition, and regular feedback to staff. But we believe this is only part of the solution, as it implies that the work-life balance is something that's done to the employee, and therefore the employer must create the solution. In our experience, the key is in understanding that work-life balance is different things to different people, and that it changes over time. So it is important that the individual recognizes their need to obtain a healthy balance in their life and take responsibility for the positive steps needed to attain it. The Work Foundation says, quote, "Work-life balance is about people having a measure of control over when, where, and how they work. It is achieved when an individual's right to a fulfilled life inside and outside paid work is accepted and respected as the norm, to the mutual benefit of the individual, business, and society," end quote. When you look at it that way, work-life balance represents a win-win-win scenario in business for the employer, employees, and customers alike. And this is where our work-life balance program aims to not only help employers and employees address issues that arise from a lack of work-life balance, but also significantly improves personal and professional effectiveness. And because we are increasingly aware of the impact that stress, absenteeism, and underperformance can have on an organization, the individual, and their loved ones, and that often these issues are simply a result of conflicting demands on our time, adopting a positive approach to work-life balance can therefore make a huge difference to the aforementioned issues. If you're like us, I know you'll agree that it's so important that everyone regularly finds and creates for themselves the balance that allows them to be at their best, so they can meet their personal and professional goals and objectives more easily. To help you and your organization achieve your training objectives in the most efficient and cost-effective way, we offer interesting and relevant keynote presentations, interactive workshops, and e-learning modules to specifically address solutions for work-life balance.
So the last challenges in organizational behavior trend is virtual work. Virtual work is when the employees use information technology to perform their job away from the traditional and physical workplace. So they use telecommunicating or teleworking when they're doing their job by working at home rather than commuting to the office. By this, it is crucial for some employees who used to do traditional method in the workplace, as they do not familiar or cannot adapt the new technologies. For example, Google company adopts with virtual work. It's hard for the some employees who do not familiar with the new technology in the organization. So this is the example of virtual work. As you can see, this is where they conduct the meeting by using video calls such as Skype or FaceTime. Presentation.